In this lesson, I want to talk to you guys about how we use intervals to build major, minor, and diminished chords. I want to talk a little bit about how chords fit into a specific key and also discuss some common terminology that musicians use to describe chord progressions when playing in a given key. So in a previous lesson we talked about intervals and we talked about how the major scale is constructed. If you don't have a bit of a grasp on that, I'd recommend reviewing that before moving forward. Let's take a look at major chords. So all major chords are built on a root, a major third interval, and a perfect fifth. Minor chords are built on a root, minor third, and a perfect fifth. And diminished chords are built on a root, minor third, and diminished or flat 5. Okay, so let's take a look at C major. Our C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The interval patterns are from C to D is a major second. C to E is a major third. C to F is a perfect fourth. C to G is a perfect fifth. C to A is a major sixth. C to B is a major seventh, and then we'd be back to tonic again. Each of the notes in the scale can be referred to as the degree. So C being the first degree, D being the second degree, E being the third degree, and so on. So going back to that C major chord built on the root, the major third, and the 5, we can see that C is the 1, our third is E, 1, 2, 3 is E, and our 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is G. If I combine C, E, and G, I get a C major triad. Okay? As we said before, a minor triad is root, minor third, and 5. So that means that third, I have to flatten it to make it a minor third. So now that chord is root, minor third, and 5. So that's the C minor triad. So the only difference between major and minor chord is the third degree. Now you build these chords regardless of the degree you're starting on. So if I wanted to do that in D, the rules would be the same. If D major would be 1, 3, and 5, right? So to have D, F sharp, and A. Okay, so and if I wanted a minor, I'd have to flatten my third. The same rules apply, okay? A diminished chord is a little bit different. We're not going to get in depth on these at this moment, but I'm going to explain to you what it is. So a diminished chord is a root, minor third, and a flat 5 or diminished 5. So that means I have to take that fifth interval and lower it, and I have to take that third interval and lower it. So I'm going to get a root, a minor third, and a flat 5. That's the triad. So if we take each degree of the scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, and we build chords on them, we get what's called diatonic harmony. And this is exactly how most of the music that we listen to is written. So again, using the key of C, our pattern for creating these chords, we build one chord off of each scale degree. So we build a chord off the 1, we build a chord off the 2, off the 3, and so on. So that pattern would look like this: C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C major. Experienced musicians often refer to these chords by their position within the scale. For example, you might be asked to play a 1-4-5. This would be a C major, an F major, and a G major. You could be asked to play a 1-6-2-5, which is a common chord progression. This would be C major, A minor, D minor, and G major. It's not uncommon for a band leader to call out chord changes during live performances. They simply hold up the number of fingers and you need to know that's a 4 chord, so I need to be ready to play my F chord when it comes around. You can definitely see how this information is important. All of this is referred to as diatonic harmony. All of the chords in the key of C major are built using notes from the C major scale. If you were to write this on the musical staff, you would see that all of the chords would ascend diagonally and they would be stacked thirds, and they would all relate back to the tonic or the root. Meaning that if you listen to specific chords, let's take this B diminished, for example, it is begging to go home. It's begging to go back to the one. All of a sudden, oh, okay, it feels better. And that's really what the chords within a scale do. They create tension that needs to be resolved. This information can be used to help you identify what key you're playing in or what key a given song is in, and to help you be able to relate to musicians when they talk in common terminology, and they call out chord names and so on. So take your time, get familiar with this, and I'm sure you'll find it quite helpful.